Welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So I just pulled a few cards on TikTok, so this is going to be where the final reading is. So I'll go over the cards that I pulled really quickly. If you're new to my channel, welcome. So glad that you're here. Please subscribe so you know when new videos go up. And if you're a return subby, always really appreciate you engaging, commenting, and all that great stuff. So a couple of the cards that I pulled on TikTok were saying that for some of you, your things are not manifesting or there's some stagnation. The reason is that number one, you might be closing yourself off for opportunities. And there's lessons for you to learn and reevaluate before you start moving forward. Because sometimes when you just approach life and saying, well, I want to do all these things, but yet you don't really have a direction or an idea of why, you might be setting yourself up for failure, or you could be just be chasing your tail, which some of you might feel like that energy. There could be, the Four of Pentacles came out, so there could be a cost associated with maybe a path that you want to take, or whether that's continuing your education, going back to school. It could be, having to actually put investment into courses or classes or certifications. But you really need to ask yourself, are you holding yourself back because it is a cost? And then, really try to dig through and figure out, is this cost going to help me evolve and grow and actually what I want to do ultimately? Ask yourself, what's your ultimate goal? Don't focus on necessarily the journey and all the details, because sometimes that can get very overwhelming and daunting. But the lessons I think that you need to start to look at are, why are you doing what you're doing? So many of us get nervous because, we see a cost or an investment in ourselves, but are we holding ourselves back because we're too comfortable? This is the time to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, because you won't grow there, okay? So for many of you, you've been kind of lying under the radar, kind of just riding the wave because it's, it's energy and, things that you're used to, you're accustomed to it. So it's like there's not really any surprise. But again, you have to ask yourself, if you want something different or more, and that can be in all areas of your life, you need to start to think about, what do you want for the long term? All right. So let's pull some additional cards. And again, I do see the Hangman here, and this is telling you that you do need to kind of see things from a different perspective. Ask yourself why. Sometimes the first step in the new direction is the hardest, but you need to start to address why you're holding yourself back. Okay. And for some of you, you're not dreaming big enough. You are, you're kind of, it's almost like a rocket that's trying to launch, but you're tethered down to the ground. For some of you, you just want to go, but yet you don't have a path that you are ready to follow, or you don't really know exactly what, makes you excited every day. Sorry, there's a ton of cards coming out. I just don't pick those unless I'm told by Spirit. Okay, we'll just take these two. Yeah, you need to start walking away. You have to cut ties, that emotional tether. For some of you, you're too comfortable with your normal routine. You're too comfortable with things just being kind of like, I expect this every day. You really have to start pushing yourself. The Eight of Cups is not necessarily an easy decision because there's emotional connection. When you get comfortable and there's some normality and stability in your life, I'm not saying disrupt that. I'm not saying that you should just throw that all out the window. But if you want change, you need to start making small steps in a direction that you can start to move and get comfortable with the change. I'm not saying that you have to make drastic shifts in your life. I am just saying that with this energy, it's saying that you do need to start actually creating the path that you want to be on. And if your life has not been as fulfilling or exciting, or doesn't hold as much wonder as it once did, that's usually a sign that you need to kind of change things and move things around so you can get some excitement and be more aligned to things that you're emotionally connected to that mean something to you. Okay. And again, small steps with the Page of Pentacles, small and steady. You don't have to take this huge leap and drastic change, tomorrow. Take it day by day, but create a plan, like stick to it, hold yourself accountable, and start to really figure out, okay, if I want this new job, let's just say, then I need to start doing my resume. I need to start looking at my contacts and figuring out, what I need to do to get myself out there and market myself more aggressively. But this doesn't mean that you have to tell your employer, I quit, bye, see ya, never want to talk to you again. But be smart about it, but take it slow. You don't have to, again, make this huge adjustment that's going to throw you off and you're not going to be able to actually continue to be consistent and driven and motivated, right? Let me just pull a few more cards. Wow, yep. Got the Devil card in reverse. I'm going to pull this card because it's kind of talking to me. The Devil card in reverse, this is something that is holding you back, or you're starting to realize that maybe you're holding yourself back. Maybe there's people in your life that are holding you back. And this is usually a sign that you're understanding that you've always had the power. The Devil card is really pushing you to see the light within yourself. But you have to go through that shadowy darkness to kind of find that and understand that you can control your outcome always. You have free will, okay? The Devil card is ruled by Capricorn. So this certainly could be, a work-related situation or a home life situation, a money situation. One thing I will say, though, is that the Devil card typically in the upright indicates that you feel powerless or bound to something. Sometimes we get so far down in our path in our life, career, relationship, that it becomes a little stale. Or we're not happy, but we don't want to, make waves in the pool. We're just like, you know what, I'd rather just be safe and I get it. This is the devil I know, not the devil I don't. So maybe I can just, deal with it and hope for the best. But that might work in the short term, but in the long term, ultimately, there's going to be things that come up that bother you and eat you up. And you're, again, if you're meant to go on a different path, the universe is going to keep pushing and throwing energy at you to make you want to do that. So this is also about taking back your power and realizing, again, that you can make the choice at any time to shift the direction in your life. Now, the Queen of Wands is indicating that some of you, this might be, wanting to start a business or launching kind of this entrepreneurial type of, way of life. I always, a business owner is one thing, but an entrepreneur, that's like a way of life, in my opinion. Okay. Because you have to adjust everything. This is kind of looking at the eye of the prize. That looks like to me like the Ace of Wands, this new beginning, passion, creativity. And for some of you, you've been looking at that, eyeing at that to try to see God, I really want something else. I want to make my own money. I want to create my own hours. It could be dog walking. It could be, arts and crafts. It could be selling something on Etsy, whatever. But this is pushing you. If you've had this idea and this urge to kind of put your stuff or your ideas out there, now's the time to do it. The Queen of Wands is also very not only really good at attracting things in her, his, or their life, but also making things happen. Really good at sales, really good at marketing, putting yourself out there. And for some of you, that's kind of what's been holding you back, is actually being on the forefront and being kind of in the spotlight, whether it's on social media, or any media channel that you're thinking of. But this is the time to really push yourself out of your comfort zone, because with this energy, the Queen of Wands makes it happen no matter what. No matter what the odds are against this energy, the Queen of Wands always comes out on top. Okay, let's just pull a few more cards. And again, I'm not telling you to be, just to go out there and quit your job tomorrow. Be smart, create a plan, be strategic, because the Queen of Wands is always playing chess, always thinking ahead. Okay. All right. So the Magician card, you have to have confidence, because anything that you touch, you're going to be able to create. For some of you, I think that's in the back of your head, that you're a master manifester, that you have this ability to actually create change very quickly, but maybe that's kind of why you're holding yourself back a little bit, and maybe taking some time to really think about what you want, because the Hermit card came out here. And again, the Hermit is this wise old mage that knows exactly what they need to do, but it's figuring out those next steps in a plan to follow that light, that inspiration that you want to achieve. But the Magician card is telling me that you can make this happen no matter what. You just have to trust yourself. You have to trust the energy, what you're being guided to do, your intuition. and believe that you can do it. This is all about confidence. You can make it happen. And if you can make it happen, and if you can trust and believe, that's when that 10 of Cups comes out. You will absolutely be able to create your own happiness, the life that you've always wanted to and dreamed to. And I'm not talking about just, intentions and affirmations. Like, all those things are great, but you have to put action behind it too. You have to align to actually what you want, but you actually need to know what you want out of the gate before you even start this. Okay. Yes, things will evolve and change, and you might change your direction in your mind a little bit, but ultimately that's why it's so important to figure out like what you ultimately want. The journey and the logistics, that will shift around. You have to be flexible with that. But the 10 of Cups is something that you've created. You've come from literally from the start and building this, great experience, your life story. Make it happen, because you only get one chance at it. Who's ready?